She sounds great. Good afternoon and welcome to the vlog. I am rearranging cars in my garage. The C7 is gone, still at Shane's, in Shane Designs, getting wrapped. Should be done in a few days. The Duramax is here. Why did I find it necessary to rearrange the Corvette? Well, I thought it would be cooler like this. Really shitty day, by the way, which is why I don't have anything planned. I can't complain. The weather has been great for, October in Pennsylvania, which is where I live, where I make my videos. Usually it's pretty cold by this time. It's been in the 70s. I wear a t-shirt and shorts every day, so I can't bitch too much. But today it's pretty bad. It's about 55 and raining. Hopefully the snow and everything and the real bad weather holds out because it makes for better content when I can actually drive my fun cars like my Corvettes. Wintertime always sees a ton of Duramax content, which people seem to like anyway, so it's not always a bad thing when the snow hits. I do plan to make some cool snow videos like I did last year, if we get some good storms. Now, back to the C5 Corvette. I want to talk about how much I actually paid for this car. Something I usually do when I get a new car on the channel. I talk about how much I paid for it. I talk about how much the build I think is going to cost. I talk about all the parts, the labor, and then when I go to sell it, I talk about how much I actually got for it. Let me get you up to speed real quick if you have not been with the channel for a while. Before the C5 here, I had a C4 Corvette, a 1987 that I bought from a dealership for $2,000. Originally, that was going to be my long-term project car, not a C5 Corvette. It was going to be the C4. I like C5s. I like them a little bit better than the C4s, but the C4 was very cheap. Drove it around for a while, made a lot of videos you can check out if you want, had a ton of fun with the car, but unfortunately, I did blow up the engine. Not really a shock when, once again, you remember I paid $2,000 for it, but even then I was thinking, well, no big deal. We'll just put a new engine in it. Maybe we'll even LS swap it, do something really cool, and we'll go from there. But I have this huge YouTuber call-out drag race event that I'm hosting here on the 28th of this month. I'm hosting this event with my buddy Nick, Guitarmageddon ZL1, my friend Andy from DFR, Diablo Formula Racing, Choice Hours, and a ton of people are going to be there, including Salamandrin, Cletus McFarland, Parker Nierenstein, and Rob Spaghetti, who also happens to have a somewhat famous, okay, really famous, probably the most famous, C5 Corvette of his own. So we got this big event coming up, and all the info is down below in the description, by the way. Come out if you can. And I really wanted my project Corvette to be ready for that time. And unfortunately, with the time frame that I have, which is like 2.5 weeks, it just wasn't gonna happen, doing a full engine swap. Either way, even if I were to find a direct replacement engine, the L98, it was a pre-LT1 Corvette, even if I could find one of those, I could probably pull it off, but then what would be the point? Because I would be right back to where I was, whereas this is actually not fast, but somewhat quick. And I wanted to have the project car there for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I have my 2017 Z06 with roughly 800 horsepower to the crank, so about 700 wheel. And that's kind of my fast drag racing car. That's the one that I want to race other people with really fast cars, try to get a great time, try to run in the 9 somewhere. And that's, pretty high up competition. I also wanted to have something there that could run and have fun with some of the lower horsepower cars, around 400, 350 wheelish in this car. And, just something to have fun with. And of course, because Jimbo has a plan to buy a C5 Corvette. I think he finally has one, by the way. And I really wanted to beat him. That's why I decided to scrap the C4 project and just look for something new, and that's how I came across this car here. With that being said, how much did I pay for old Quicksilver behind me here? Well, a buddy of mine named Steve is the previous owner, and I was actually talking to him about buying my C4 when it blew up. I called him up. He's a dealer. He always is fucking around with cars. So I said, hey man, would you have any interest in taking this thing off of my hands for like 500 bucks? I don't really care about the money. Just throw me something and we'll make a deal. And he said, yeah, I want it. I also knew that this guy just got a C5 Corvette a few months ago, and being a dealer, he's able to get cars for cheap, and he got this one from Florida, and it's a great car, lower mileage. And I figured, you know what, maybe if I make him an offer for that, he'll actually sell it to me. He definitely wasn't happy about it. If you go back and watch the videos, it kind of seems like he wanted to kill himself. This was his first Corvette. He always wanted one, but ultimately we did come to a deal, so I gave him $8 grand cash with the C4 on top. If you value the C4 at around $500, then I paid roughly $8,500 out of pocket for this one. Definitely a great deal. It's already got an SLP loudmouth exhaust that you heard. It's got a little bit of a cam in it, little hot cam. It's got C6 Z06 wheels, authentic ones. These are the real deal, not replicas. And the interior is pretty good. Again, it's got almost 90,000 miles on it, in the 80s somewhere, like 88 or 89. And the interior is not bad. Seat definitely has some wear, but I might be getting rid of those anyway. And it's got the heads-up display, you can see there, which is cool. And other than the seat, though, the interior is in great shape. No rips or anything. On the door panels, everything seems to be holding up pretty good. Everything works, so I'm pretty happy with it. As I've said before, not really a huge fan of the two-tone, like, beige, brown, gray, whatever the fuck this color is with the black. Love the black, Not so much this stuff, so maybe I can swap that out at some point. There you have it, ladies and gents. How much did I actually pay for my C5? $8,500. Or $8,000 and a really shitty C4 Corvette, however you want to look at it. Sadly though, I have a confession to make, and that is not the true story of this car, and that's not the full story. And the truth is, I'm actually getting paid to buy this car, and I want to explain to you what I mean by that. No, I'm not talking about some bullshit app or website that sells you a car or has some service or they rent you a car or anything like that. I'm talking about the fact that as a car YouTuber, buying a vehicle for me is an investment. What do I mean by that? Well, I am very fortunate to have an extremely strong subscriber base on YouTube, and I thank the audience for that every day. I have all of you to thank for the life that I get to live. And I've been doing YouTube full time for about the last 8 months or so, and it's a change in my life that I never thought was going to be possible. And I wake up every day and do something that I love, which is something, unfortunately, few people can say. I had no idea what ever happened. I started making videos just totally as a side hobby like 2.5 years ago. And I was like 3 or 4 months in, I had a couple thousand subscribers, and I think I made $13, and that was my first time ever seeing revenue. And of course, Google has a threshold where they won't even pay out unless you reach $100. So I saw that $13 and I was like, wow, that's like a fourth of a tank of gas, not bad. Luckily, since then, a lot has changed. When you think about a car as an investment, you might think of the guy who's on the Porsche VIP list, and he gets a GT2 RS for 600 grand, and then he brings it home, puts it in the garage, waits a month, and then puts it back on the market for a $250,000 profit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about buying a car, doing all kinds of fun shit with it, having a blast, making great content, and at least trying to make great content that I think is great, hopefully people enjoy it, and then getting paid for that content. For instance, something like this, $8,000, not a huge amount of money, but a nice little chunk of change. This car will pay for itself after about 4 or 5 videos. As a matter of fact, let's look at the analytics here. Now, this is something I do from time to time. Every couple of months, I like to give you guys an update, especially now because with the whole YouTube demonetization ad apocalypse thing, I think you guys would be very interested to know how my channel is doing and how it's been affected. So you can see, here's my video manager for Street Speed 717, and you can see my views here on the side, and the green monetization logo, the green little money logo, means that every video is good. Now, I had one that was demonetized earlier, but I submitted it for manual review and it got overturned, which means it got put back to being able to be monetized, which has happened 6 times, by the way, for the last, pretty much every video you see here, all my last videos, they did get demonetized, which is why I put that as my one title. And then I have to submit them again for the manual review, and then luckily all of them have been overturned. This one you can see I have an edit in progress, and I edited out a bad word. Now, I still say shit and fuck and everything else all the time because I know you guys like that. And even if it meant me seeing a loss in money, I would still do it because I want my channel to be genuine, and I could bleep it out, and you could say, well, bleeping it out isn't really being disingenuous because you're still saying it, you're just bleeping it out. But I want you guys to hear what I really say, and I try very hard. The one video I did bleep things out as a joke, which is why half of them were bleeped and half weren't. But I'm going to do my best to always say what I really feel and not really watch my language because, it's just more fun. But for that video, I did decide to edit something out because even for me, it was a little bit too vulgar. Even for me, it might have been just a bit too much. And this goes back to what I was talking about when it comes to, having a very strong subscriber base. My views are still really good. Everyone's views on YouTube seems to be down about 30% from where they were a couple of months ago. I think it's maybe people going back to school or whatever, but you can see 260, 250, 312. This is a great one. This is when I first bought the C5. That video did very well. 12,000 likes, so you guys definitely like that. 12,000 likes, 380 dislikes, which is a great ratio for me. Actually, I guess that's pretty average. Mine are usually about 300 dislikes. But you guys like that. And then doing the fender hash marks and all that good stuff. And the Ricer mod for the Duramax. Don't worry, I have something much cooler coming very soon. We're going to switch over to analytics here. Give them a second to load. I'm kind of far away from my router. Okay, this is me, as you can tell. Estimated revenue down here. And let's scroll down. You can see everything is down a little bit. 745 average watch time, which again, still very strong though. It's a great average watch time. A lot of people, they hover around 5 minutes. 7 minutes is pretty good when your average video length is only about 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes. Estimated revenue again, views, watch time, all that good stuff. And then if you scroll down to the videos, you can see how much they actually make you. So these are all old. We won't see any of the videos recently because it takes a while to show up. You can see for videos that get a pretty good amount of views, like this one got 268,000 views there. That was $2,200. Honda Civic Revs at a car show, a lot of views. It was a shorter video though, so it only got $2,100. And this one, $1,900. You can see each video, roughly $1,500 average, somewhere in that range, if they get a decent amount of views, which is definitely great. It's fantastic, and I'm not going to complain about that at all. But I think the interesting thing here, and one of the reasons why I wanted to show you, is that because even with the whole demonetization thing, like I said, and even though I always joke about it, I haven't really been affected, at least not badly, and hopefully that remains the case. But people often ask, do you get paid if I have YouTube Red? And you can see, yes, I do. I'm not sure how it all works out. I'm not sure how any of it works out. I know that at the end of the day, you get paid based on your views, average watch time, clicks, and all that stuff. I'm not sure on the exact formula. I just kind of focus on, as long as everything's doing okay, I'm happy. I don't really try to focus on every little detail. But yeah, even with the struggles I have had with my videos getting flagged and whatnot, I'm still doing fine. Yes, out of all the car YouTubers, you would think that I'd be getting hit the worst. I'd be getting the worst end of it, but so far so good. Hopefully it does remain that way because I don't want to censor. You guys sure as hell, based on the last video where I censored as a joke, you guys definitely don't want me to. Evidently, people really love to hear me swear. It's a good thing that I don't censor because if I were to attempt to censor a video where I go up to Andy's, the entire thing would be one giant beep. One final thought here, and that is sustainability, because it's all well and good to talk about buying cars as an investment for a YouTube channel, and it's all well and good to talk about buying mods and doing all this fun stuff, but is it sustainable? Is YouTube sustainable as a platform as a whole? Is it a sustainable career option? And I can tell you one thing, it's never a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket, and you always have to put money aside. You can't just spend all the time. You just can't be reckless with it, and especially when you consider YouTube as a job. I mean, you can see what my views are doing for me. So you can only imagine what guys that are uploading and they're getting, guys and girls are uploading and getting 1 million views a video. 1 million views a video. I get, picture it this way, I get roughly 7 to 8 million views a month. There's people that upload every day and get 3 or 4 million views or even more. So, there's people that are easily raking in $500,000, $750,000, $1 million a month on YouTube. And even at that rate though, I think some people get caught up in the spending, and you always have to rein that in. You can't always spend on what you're making now because you might not always make that. Hey Mom, quick question for you.
Yeah.
How's the Mini Cooper?
Everybody's out here.
Merry Christmas, Mom. People always want an update.
Oh my God, it's the best. I just love it. Everywhere I go, people I was at the Turnpike the other day and I went to the toll booth. And the guy looked at it and says, oh my God, that's the coolest thing. Where'd you get that flag? Somebody, every day I drive this, I just can't believe I have a Mini Cooper.
Sorry, that was my mom. Definitely always have to take phone calls from your mother. I got her a Mini Countryman, her dream car, not a crazy dream car, not a Lambo or anything, but she always wanted one. Got her one for Christmas last year, and she loves it. I'm gonna give an update on the car this Christmas for a 1-year anniversary. People like to ask about it. I guess I'll try to sum it up by saying that I'm preparing for the future because I don't envision YouTube being a super long-term career option, at least not in this capacity for everyone. I think that we're just at the beginning when it comes to YouTube as a entertainment platform. You might be thinking that we're pretty far along because YouTube has been here since 2004, 2005. But really, when you look at it, people 30 and over still watch a lot of TV. Those numbers are drastically going down. People 14 and younger don't watch any TV at all. Virtually, the young teen age group virtually watches no cable television, which is nuts. So the internet as an entertainment platform is just, like I said, really just beginning, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. But I do think that as you see that get bigger, what you have on television is a lot of censorship. You can only say certain things during the day. You have shows late at night, then you can say more. And I'm sure that as more advertisers come over to YouTube, you're gonna have more of that because advertisers don't want to be associated with people that swear, people that say things like that, even if it's just swearing, which to me isn't a big deal. And I do think that as a society, maybe we could just get over the whole bad words thing, but it doesn't seem like it's going in that direction. It seems like people are getting more offended by stuff, not less offended, which I think is definitely wrong. And I think we could learn a lot by going the other way. But I do think that we're gonna see some pretty big effects when it comes to censorship and just the whole rules of what you can post on YouTube and still make money. I'm sure you can still post whatever you want. And let me just be very clear. I'm fully in favor of, if you have a channel where you're just spewing hate speech of some kind and you're talking about killing people and horrible things, yeah, you shouldn't make any fucking money. You shouldn't make any money at all. In fact, to some degree, depending on exactly what you're saying, although I am totally for all free speech, even if it's speech that I disagree with, to some degree, you should probably have your channel shut down. Like if you're talking about being a terrorist and that kind of thing, I don't think you should be allowed to even talk about that shit. But, you know, I just think that definitely there will be more of this is coming is what I should say. Anyway, folks, I hope that you found this video informative and interesting. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day. Of course I'm washing my car in the garage.